Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Big Time Sports. My name is Joe Dunn. Here's your invitation to stay with us for the next 25 minutes as we talk high school sports all over Stark County. Well, March Madness doesn't only mean basketball. It also means that high school softball and baseball are right around the corner. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Scott Doherty is here, the outstanding head softball coach over at the Perry Panthers. A lot to talk about with that program. Before we do that, however, just want to kind of wrap up high school basketball because we still have three teams in Stark County, boys teams that are still playing basketball. Massillon and Alliance in Division II, Central Catholic in Division V. Congratulations to those teams for going into the regional tournament this week all over the area. Also, a lot of great college basketball. How about Mount Union? They qualified for the D3 tournament. However, they got beat by Washington and Jefferson. Their season is over. Congratulations to Mike Feuline. Great year for Mount Union out at Alliance. However, Walsh University, they are still playing. In fact, they're the host team for the Midwest Regional coming up this week over in North Canton. They will play William Jewell University out of Missouri in the first round. If they win that on Saturday, they'll play Sunday for a regional championship and a route all the way to the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to all the high school and college teams in the area. They had great seasons or are continuing their season. Right now, as we said, let's bring in the head softball coach at Perry High School, Scott Doherty. And Coach, I always see you because I know it's time for high school softball. You're kind of our leadoff hitter every year to talk some high school softball. I know you're excited about the upcoming year.
Yeah, we are. We ended last year on a high note. You know, we kind of talked a little bit. We were 4-11 at our tournament draw last year. We drew the number 16 seed in our 2019 district. And from that point forward, we just kept getting better and better each day and ended up in the Final Four. Lost to eventual state champion Painesville Riverside 2-0. But it gave us a pretty good boost to come into 2026.
Exactly. I thought that was your fourth Final Four, if I read that right on the website.
So it's our program sixth. It's my third.
Yeah. Okay. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think maybe the other Final Four teams, you kind of expected that. You had great teams, you had a lot of people back. Did this one come as a surprise to you? As you mentioned, you were, what, 4-11 going to the tournament. All of a sudden, you catch fire and are the talk of the area.
Yeah, I was surprised. We did not start off well. I think Lacey and I just joked earlier, there was points in the season we had more errors than runs scored. Yeah. There wasn't a lot going right for us early in the year. But I thought it was fun to look in the tournament program. Every team had a 28-5, you know, 22-6, and we were 14-16. We were the only team at the Final Four in the state tournament with a losing record.
I guess the obvious question is, when did you feel as a coach, as you enter the tournament, we can make a run? When did it kick in that, hey, we got something special going here?
Yeah, so we had back-to-back games against Hoover and Jackson. You know, two teams in our league, two teams that had beaten us previous, and we ended up beating Jackson 10-7. We knocked off Hoover 8-3, and then I think a real big one was a home game against Green. Green had beat us 9-0 earlier in the year. They were the Federal League favorite at the time. Had they beat us, they would have secured first place all by themselves in the league, and we beat them in the bottom of the seventh, 4-3. That seemed to give our team confidence, those three wins in particular.
I think a lot of people have been on teams that get into a tournament, maybe on a weekend or during a season, and all of a sudden they catch fire, and mentally they start thinking nobody can beat us. And I think, I can assume that got to the point where your team thought, hey, nobody can beat us now.
So we had a schedule early in the year. It was tough. You know, Walsh Jesuit beat us 14-3, and they were in a regional final. Champion beat us 10-0 in 5 innings. We were getting beat pretty good, but we kept selling our girls that the schedule you're seeing right now is prepping you for what's to come down the road. And once they started to see that were true, right? They started to see that the beatings we took early started to pay off later, and we started putting wins on the board. That was a good feeling.
You know, going up to Firestone Stadium, it's kind of a, as we mentioned before the show, kind of a mini Wrigley feel to it. That's kind of the goal of everybody that starts playing softball all over the state of Ohio. And to get up there, number one, it's got to be quite an accomplishment. Just get up there and go on the field after you came into the tournament as a big underdog. That had to feel good.
Yeah, it was. We had an early Saturday morning game.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great experience for our girls. I mean, we got pretty good support fan-wise. That was kind of a first for us. Our regionals were out in Ashland. Those weren't really well attended. but to be able to experience it and be able to really put it into action of, this is for us.
Sure.
We deserve to be in these kinds of things, and to see it come to fruition, I think, was huge.
Have great fan support over at Perry. I've been over there. Of course, Big Time Sports has done a number of games of your facility over in Perry. Great fan support, great booster support. Did you have a lot of people that were doubters to begin in that tournament and kind of jumped on the bandwagon as you kept advancing?
Yeah, it's always funny. So I told them, I had buddies, and they set our win total last year at 8. They put it over-under at 8. I remember that. And I was like, man, that's not right, But what people would always tell us late, they're like, I feel like we're going to jinx it if we come to your games now because we haven't been to any yet. I'm like, nah, man, plenty of room on this bandwagon, man. They didn't jinx us at 18. They didn't jinx us in 21. You ain't jinxing us in 25.
I'm guessing that this team that made that great run had to be a lot of fun. You had teams that came into tournaments as favorites, veteran groups. To bring this team that far and see them advance and get better, that had to be fun.
Yeah, and I told them, and this was honest, they came as far as any team I've ever coached from day one to end of the year. Further than the 18 team, further than 21. Those teams won state titles. This team came as far as any I've ever coached.
We're going to talk in the second and third segments about the schedule and things like that, but I'm assuming after you made that great run with a lot of young players, nobody was picking up the phone when you were calling them to play them. How tough was putting that schedule together for 26?
So here's what's good. This is my 13th year, and we're kind of in a groove of who we schedule.
Okay.
And we schedule, teams that are year in and year out tough.
Yeah.
So it's not as hard as you would think.
Okay.
But no, to your point, yeah, not everybody wants to get out and schedule tough games back to back to back like that. We kind of relish it.
Exactly. Coach, stay put. You've brought through your players with them. We're looking forward to the 2026 season, which begins on March 21st against Hoban. We're going to take a break, come back and talk more Perry softball right after this.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevytoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
You're only as good as your people. And what we've done here is that we've created a culture where people flourish.
We don't want it to be a transaction. We want it to be something where there's a consultative approach, a relationship that allows us to really, one, ensure our customer the right way, but then two, to let them understand the value of getting to work with us.
It's an extreme amount of satisfaction for this team that we have right now. We've developed a team that is solely based on relationships.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Matt.
And we're West End Pizzeria. Here, every pizza starts by hand. Fresh dough, real cheese, and toppings piled high the way you like them. It's not just dinner, it's that warm hometown flavor that keeps friends and families coming back. Dine in, carry out, or grab a slice on your way home. West End Pizzeria, located at 130 West Lisbon Street in Waynesburg, Ohio. We'll save you a slice.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. If you just joined us, we are talking a little softball, Stark County softball, one of the best programs not only in Stark County, but in the state of Ohio. The Perry Panthers head coach Scott Dougherty is here. You've brought one of your key players who is very versatile, I understand, not only a softball player, but a musician. Why don't you introduce the young lady?
So yeah, this is our entire senior class. This is Lacey Zapatachny. Just one.
Wow, okay.
Lacey Zapatachny. She survived. No, Lacey is versatile, not just in life, but on the field as well. Lacey plays second base for us. She can pitch, she can catch. She's done a little bit of everything for Perry softball, but I think if all goes well, she'll be our second baseman and hit second in our lineup. That's what she did last year for us. So we're kind of banking on that again. And she's going to go play at the next level at Kent State, the Tuscarawas campus. She's going to join Peyton Gottschall, who's a former Perry Panther and coaches at at the Tusk campus. So yeah, we're looking for good things with Lacey.
There you go. Lacey, welcome to the program. It had to be so exciting for you last season. The regular season not as successful as you wanted. All of a sudden you go into a tournament, you catch fire, you win game after game after game. Look back at that experience and tell us what it was like for you.
You know, it was really exciting to play because, you know, I got to, like, watch my team succeed too. Like, even, like, watching, so we had a lot of young players, like Mouse and Anna, and I loved watching them, like, bond too. And, like, soaking up, like, even, like, at, like, Firestone, it's like, I've came this far. It just felt great.
Of course, we talked to the coach about what point in the tournament he started believing. When did you as a player start thinking, wow, we're pretty good right now. We can keep doing this. When did that kind of kick in for you?
I think I can agree with Doc, like, with, like, the Hoover and Green games, you know, like, we started, like, piecing a lot of like, plays together. And once we hit, you know, tournament play and we scrapped up runs, like, in the regional final against Green, I'm like, I had a lot of confidence in our team because we proved ourselves.
Sure. Going to play at Firestone Stadium is always a dream. I mean, a lot of players play softball their entire career. They may go to the state tournament, sit there and watch, but they don't get to play on the field. How much fun was it going up there with the whole state of Ohio tuned into that tournament and you're on the field playing? Tell us about that excitement.
You know, it was kind of nervous, but at the same time, like, people showed up for you and they're coming to watch you. So it's exciting.
Yeah, you go up there and you got the artificial turf. There's not a lot of bad hops in that field out there, so you can kind of sit back and play the game the way you want to play. Is that a comfortable feel to go up there and knowing the field's going to be ready? It's going to be a first-class environment for you?
Yes. I think it gives, like, our players confidence too.
Sure. Let's go back to the beginning of your high school career, maybe your softball career. Can you remember the first time somebody put a glove on your hand and gave you a softball and you started throwing it around and you started really liking softball and got better and better? Can you remember all the way back to when it began for you?
You know, it was T-ball.
T-ball, okay.
You know, my parents are always telling me, like, I had to run around the bases with my dad. And, you know, I was, like, shy and, like, not really as outgoing. But I think as my softball career, like, progressed, I've, you know, like, gotten more outspoken.
Yeah.
And just gained more personality, I think.
When did you think you could be pretty good at the game? I mean, you play it because maybe some of your friends are playing, your parents want you to play, they want you to stay active, be physically involved. When did it kind of kick in for you that, you know, I can be pretty good at this game?
You know, I think definitely high school.
Okay.
High school was just, like, you know, like a different world for me, I think. I think more like junior year because, you know, it was my first year on varsity. You know, at a starting spot, I had, like, more of a responsibility. So I knew, like, my coaches trusted me with that.
Talking about responsibility, Coach said you're the lone senior, the last senior standing, which means you're in a leadership role whether you want to be or not. Tell us what you look at as a leader and how you lead this team a little bit being a veteran.
You know, I'm always told I lead by example, and I agree with that. Like, I'm not the most vocal person. I think Mouse definitely has, like, a vocal,
sure,
you know, personality. I think just leading by example can go, like, the same way as being vocal.
Sure. You were not only a softball player, you're also a member of the band and do a lot of things at Perry. Tell us about your involvement in that and some of the other things you get involved in school.
So I've been in Symphonic Winds, so our highest band at Perry High School for all 4 years, and I'm second chair right now. And I had a leadership role last year and this year during marching band. So it was fun I think marching band really gives me something else to, like, look forward to.
Sure. How do you manage all that? Time management, you're practicing softball, you want to practice with the music. How do you do all that?
You know, like, doing a little bit of everything every day. I think one half of my year is more towards band, football games, and then, like, this half of the year is more towards softball, like strictly softball. Gotcha.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know you're a busy young lady, so thanks for coming over tonight, and best of luck in your senior year with softball.
Thank you.
Coach, stay put because you've got 2 more young ladies that can't wait to get up here and talk a little softball with us. So don't go away. Big Time Sports is back at you right after this.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevytoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Scammers are always looking for their next target, but you don't have to be one of them. With BBB Scam Tracker, powered by the Better Business Bureau, in partnership with Amazon and Capital One, you can easily report and look up scams, and it's free to use. Learn about scams, get tips on how to avoid them, sign up for alerts, and more. Visit bbb.org/scamtracker and help put scammers out of business.
Okay, welcome back to Big Time Sports. As we mentioned at the top of the show, March Madness means a lot more than basketball tournaments. It means, to me anyway, a lot of people around the area, it's the start of softball and baseball season at the high school level, and we start off our coverage, as we do seemingly every year, with one of the best programs in the area. The Perry Panthers. Head coach Scott Doherty is here. He's brought a couple of young ladies with him who are key members of this team. And Coach, how about the youngsters on this team? Because you played a lot of young players last year. Now they're veterans. Tell us about the key people coming back.
Yeah, so, with me right now I have Allie Dennis. Allie was a sophomore last year, had never played third base, at least not much. Settled into that role very nicely for us. I think Addie Morrison, she's going to be a sophomore this year. I think she'll hit leadoff for us. She's going to play a key outfield role for us as well. Amelia Bonk, sophomore catcher, and Anna Keller, sophomore pitcher. So that battery is both back again. Aubrey Creator was in the outfield for us last year as a sophomore. Now she's into her junior year. We've got a freshman, Ava Newman, that I think is going to hop in and help us in the outfield. She's our fastest player. She can fly, so we're kind of excited about that. Ella Stahl, Addie Snyder, those two are kind of vying for a shortstop job right now. Bree Beadle, a freshman, is we're looking at her as well at that spot. Amaya Ray was a sophomore and had key at-bats for us last year and could be in the mix for us this year. Nadia Turner, Isabel Weaver are both juniors now and could be vying for spots in our outfield. So yeah, we've got a ton of young people now, as we said, with Lacey being our only senior. We got a lot of young pups that are a lot of experience under their belt for being as young as they are, yeah.
Is it just Perry, or is it softball in general all over the area where these young ladies are coming into programs able to play earlier? Are they getting the coaching or getting the experience that allows them to come up and play at this level early?
So we all have some freshmen that come in and play right away. Our group last year came into a really good situation, right? 2 years ago, we graduated 9 seniors. So there were literally 8 open spots. We only had 1 non-starter from 2024 coming into 25. Now you look at next year's freshman class coming in, we only have 1 senior.
Sure.
So there are not, there's not going to be as many open spots because of graduation that way. But I think every program in the area is always able to kind of pepper in a few freshmen.
Exactly. Well, welcome to the program. I know you're excited. A great tournament run last year. You're a junior this year, correct? Yep. You're kind of a leader whether you want to be or not, because as Coach said, there's a ton of young kids coming in. But what are you looking forward to this year after that great tournament run last year? Tell us your expectations and what you want to get done this year.
I think that if everybody puts their minds to it again, like we kind of did last year, because we knew it was possible, I feel like everybody should think that we have the capability to do it again, because I think we do, but it'll take a minute for everybody to realize that we actually can, just because it's a lot of new people. And we're all just trying to find ways to bond, get to know each other better, and make sure we have a fun season.
Are you the type of player that kind of lives and breathes softball 24/7? Do you take a break from the game mentally to kind of recharge the batteries? Tell us how you approach softball through the year, so you're mentally and physically fresh to start a year like you're in a couple weeks.
Whenever softball starts up, it's kind of like constant. So I try and like make extra time for like my family and friends, but sometimes whenever like I get too caught up in it, it's just like softball.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is exhausting, but at the same time, it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I have no regrets.
When did you start playing competitive softball? When did it all begin for you?
It was around whenever I was maybe 11.
Okay.
I started playing travel for the first time, and it was with a Spikes team. And then it kind of like, that was my first year with travel, so I didn't really know many teams.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got a little bit more involved with the help of my grandparents.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
What are you still working on as a softball player? What do you think you do right now? Is the offensive part of the game, defense? What are you working on right now to get a little bit better?
I would say I'm working on trying to keep my hitting more constant and like consistent, and then at third base, like since it is still kind of new to me, I'm just trying to get in my work there pretty good, well.
How do you approach at bat? I mean, if you come up to bat, maybe you don't have a good swing, maybe you pop up or strike out. How quickly can you forget about that and come back fresh at the next at bat, and how difficult is that to do as a player?
Before every at bat, I say to myself to like try not lean over, because that's what I've been doing for the longest time. And then sometimes it like rubs off on me the wrong way if it's a bad at bat, but usually I don't think I let it affect me that much, like too much, but.
You never take the at bats into the field, you kind of go out to third base and forget about the last at bat? How hard is that?
I tried to, yeah, because it's already done and over with.
Yeah.
And you get another one, so I try and like let it go.
How much of a student of the game are you? As they go through the lineup, how much do you remember from the previous at bat? Where they hit the ball, maybe their swing, if they're trying to, go to the right side. How much do you pay attention to the lineup and what you have to do defensively?
If there's a ball like hit to me, I'll know who it is, but like sometimes I can like remember where they hit it, just so I can like tell my defense, just like expect it wherever, but this is where they hit it last time.
Sure.
And I mean, it's different every time, but I try and help my defense.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you got a lot of softball left, only a junior this year. You got a lot of softball to play, so thanks for coming over tonight, and best of luck this year.
Thank you.
Coach, we got one more left to go. Did you save the best for last or not? We'll have to wait and see.
I let the players pick the order, so yeah, we'll see.
Then we're going to take a break, come back with our final Perry Panther right after this.
Thinking about selling your car? Make it fun at Ferris Chevy Toyota. We buy all cars, any truck, any SUV, and we pay top dollar, even if you don't buy from us. It's fast, easy, and yes, car buying is fun at Ferris. Visit us on the Wabash in New Philadelphia or start online at ferrischevitoyota.com. Ferris Chevy Toyota on the Wabash in New Philadelphia.
With Bell Store's Bell Buddy Rewards, you save in-store and at the pump. New members receive 20 cents off per gallon as a welcome gift. Everyday savings are made easy. Instantly enjoy 3 cents off per gallon just for being a member. When you spend $25 in store, unlock an extra 5 cents off per gallon on your next fill-up. Buy 5, get 1 free. Track your drinks and earn free coffee, fountain, icy, and espresso with drink clubs. So start saving today. Download the Bell Stores app and sign up for Bell Buddy Rewards.
Wouldn't it be nice if everything was easy? Primetime Health Plan is easy to choose and easy to use. That's why we've had the highest customer service rating for 10 straight years. Call 330-363-7407 to get all the benefits you deserve. Medicare made easy with Primetime Health Plan. Primetime Health Plan is an HMO POS plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Primetime Health Plan depends on contract renewal. Every year, Medicare evaluates plans based on a 5-star rating system.
We are talking Perry Panther softball tonight. Head coach Scott Doherty is here. Final segment of the show. And Coach, I always ask you, you're our leadoff hitter every year. Give us a quick analysis, a scouting report on the Federal League. Who's going to be the teams to beat, or everybody's good this year?
Yeah, I think everybody's good, and the strengths come in different ways. So I do think the most experienced pitching is with Lake and Green. Annie Lashevsky with Green, Gianna Greathouse with Lake. But Lake lost 7 seniors from last year too, so they're balancing that out. Green lost only 2 seniors, but they were their 2 best players last year offensively, so they've got to replace that. Yeah. Glen Oak has a young pitcher. And she's got 7 starters back, so I know she's kind of excited to see what plays out. We've talked about us. You've got Jackson, who they've lost their pitcher and lost a few, I think 6 players, he said, off last year's team, but he's got a lot back as well. Gabby Williamson's a top player in our league. And he's got a pitcher. Her last name's Essig. I know that's going to be his number 1, so we'll kind of see how she mixes in there. So it's going to be wide open, as it always is. Yeah, we're going to beat each other up a little bit.
Sure, look forward to it. You got a young lady sitting next to you. Why don't you introduce her and what she means to the team this year?
Yeah, so this is our sophomore catcher. Her name's Amelia Bonk. I think most of Stark County knows her as Mouse. I believe her grandfather gave her that nickname when she was young, and she's kind of grown with that name. Amelia's going to be a really high-level player. She's getting to showcases. She's getting looks at levels in college, the D2, D1 levels. Good. She's got a really exciting future. I mean, you asked Allie Dennis, like, are you the kind of player that eats and eats? Yeah, she lives it, man. She is all in.
Amelia, welcome to the program. Boy, that's quite an introduction. I know you're going to live up to those expectations, but tell us about when you started playing softball, because you have arrived as a sophomore as a very talented young lady. Tell us how it all began for you.
I started playing softball when I was either 8 or 9. I remember, like, the first time I was going to a rec ball practice, I made my dad, like, go throw out in the yard with me because I was so nervous I was going to mess up. And, like, over the years, like, I learned to love the game. I learned how to be a leader and just to be a student of the game.
Have you always been a catcher, and did that position kind of thrill you, entice you to go into softball? How did you become a catcher?
Oh, man, so I used to be a pitcher, but then I was like, this isn't really for me. And then I got behind the plate. I was like, wow.
Fell in love with it.
I did, and, like, I started going to the Billy Dome, and they really broke me out of my shell. That's where I learned how to be a leader. And he's cracked me out of the shell, and I learned how to do everything I know to do now.
What's the toughest part of being a catcher?
Ooh, probably controlling the whole field, like communicating with everybody.
Well, I knew a catcher who grew up in my household for a while, and he loved it. He loved throwing people out. I mean, how much is that a thrill as a catcher to throw people out and dare them to run on you?
It feels amazing. I mean, once you get them out, you're like, oh, yes, there we go. And it's like, it just like lights a spark, and like you carry it throughout the game.
What about the offensive part of your game? How much do you enjoy the hitting part of it?
I think I like hitting more than catching.
Really?
I love ripping a double, like a nice line drive. That just makes my heart happy.
What's your expectations, just your individually and as a team?
Individually, I would like to grow even more, to make sure like I'm getting all my mechanics down right. And for the team, I expected us to like go far in the state games. I expect us to be in the championship.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching you play, not only this year, but for the next 2, and maybe at that next level. So thanks for coming over tonight, and best of luck the rest of the way.
No, thank you.
Coach, always love talking to you because I get all my information for you to kind of lead me through March. So thanks for coming over tonight. Best of luck in that opening game with Hoban, and we'll see you a few times on the softball fields this year.
Yeah, it sounds good. Thanks for having us.
Sure. Sky Doherty, head softball coach at Perry. Next week, we'll continue softball. Coach Heidelbeer with Malone. So join us next week for more softball right here on Big Time Sports.